Hello. Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I am your host, Matthew Horkey.
Hi, I'm Shireen Tan.
Welcome back to the show today. Well, we got some Napa wines here because we are going to talk about our week at Premiere Napa Valley. You like it?
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
So what is Premiere Napa Valley? It's an annual auction that happens in February, and what they do is producers try to create the best wine they possibly can make. 1 barrel, 2 barrels, and it gets auctioned off at the end of the week. And during that live auction and online auction as well, all those proceeds go back to the Napa Valley Vintners and for the re-promotion of Napa Valley wines. I think this year at the auction they raised over $4 million. It was like 4.1, 4.2 million. Cool thing is there's the auction on Saturday, and then all week there's different tasting parties, different open houses that lead up to Premiere Napa Valley. So what did we like about it? What did you like about it?
I really enjoyed the AVA tasting because when you get to an AVA and you taste, like let's say we went to Oakville, you really get to taste through all the wines and from different producers in one AVA. That's when you really get a sense of what the AVA is about. You see the consistency, you see the differences between each wineries.
It was cool because we attended Spring Mountain AVA tasting. All the wineries are Spring Mountain, Oakville, and Stag's Leap. There were also random open houses, random dinners. We couldn't attend everything because we were already at the Wine Writers Symposium. So,
otherwise we would have done everything.
Yeah, we had so much fun. What wines did we like? Let's start with the tastings that we did. The AVA tasting, Spring Mountain, Oakville, and Stag's Leap. Anything stuck out to you in particular?
I think in general, some of the Spring Mountain white wines can be quite interesting.
The Spring Mountain Vineyards, the Sauvignon Blanc Semillon was very good. You remember that? That was because I'm not a huge fan of Napa Sauvignon Blanc, and that was very delicious. Now, Oakville, on the other hand, that's an AVA that Shireen was completely engulfed with. Do you remember any big names that you liked?
But back to Spring Mountain, I also noticed that the red wines sometimes have a little bit of the Purisine note, which can work. Like the green capsicum actually sometimes work in the red wine. Anyhow, Oakville, I like that it's big, full body, robust. The oak integration is so well done over there generally. Actually, not a single one that's oaky. And it was just a really nice, soft, small tannins in the wine. There wasn't a single bad wine from Oakville.
I remember one of our favorite producers is Miani and Friuli, Venezia Giulia, and Shireen looked at me and said, there are many Mianis here. In the Oakville, I was really impressed with Cellars, Bond. The new Harlan Estate was very good. Also, Vine Hill Ranch. I'm sorry, you liked Vine Hill Ranch quite a bit. And as much as it get poo-pooed on, the new vintage of Opus One was very good.
Yeah. The Opus One really tastes distinctly different. It had different characters. It was a little bit... It just had different nuances from all the rest of the Oakville wine. I really liked it.
And next we moved on to Stag's Leap. The Stag's Leap AVA tasting. I was a big fan of Odette. You love Cliff Lede, right? Correct?
Very much, yeah. And it may be quite unfair to make this sort of comparison, but I think a good reference is like the wines from there, from Stag's Leap, is more Italian-esque because it has a certain freshness in the wine. Of course, it's much bigger, but it has a certain freshness that you don't get in Oakville.
For me, Stag's Leap, what I tasted, you distinctly get the herbal, some capsicum, silky notes, and it's more like dark tobacco that I smell, whereas opposed to Oakville, it was kind of like white sweet, so it was like
denser,
a ripe sweet cedar type deal, sweet tobacco type.
And also distinctly, we could tell the difference between the Oakville tannin and Stag's Leap tannin.
Yeah.
Okay, this is generalization, but all the wines that we tasted, Stag's Leap had this like velvety tannins, whereas Oakville was a little bit more grapey but small and very beautiful tannins.
Yeah, and then we moved on to the online auction and the online and the live auction tasting. And what was cool is right before that we did a perspective tasting where we did a blind tasting of 2013, 14, 15 Cabernet Sauvignons from Napa, some top stuff. I learned a lot from that tasting, even though I couldn't get all the way through it because the tannins were ripping my face off. What did you take? You went through every single lot.
All the Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Sauvignon. Sauvignon Blanc was a little bit difficult for me to go through. To be honest, I mean, we really like Sauvignon Blancs from Santa Barbara. We really like it from certain parts of Italy and also from France as well. I think that there's potential for Sauvignon Blanc in Napa Valley, but as of right now, I had to go through quite a lot of pretty okay examples to get to the really good ones. And Cliff Lede makes a really good example.
But what about
Yeah.
the Cabernet 13, 14, 15? That's the name of the game.
13, 14, 15, 13 was a lot more tannic structure, really built to age for the long term. 2014 was the most accessible
Exactly.
Cabernet for me right now. It was a lot of them, almost 50% of the Cabernet from 2014 that I tasted actually has a little bit of this floral, more herbal nose that I find it really attractive. 2015 at this point it's accessible as well. In fact, more accessible than 2013, but I find that it's much more fruit driven.
They were irregular too. Like 13 is
Of course,
supposed to be one of the greatest vintages in Napa Valley. They were wines that were just not ready to drink. 14 was enjoyable. 15 they were kind of irregular and a bit young at this point, right?
Yeah,
So
that's a conversation that we often also like to have with people as well, because you don't look at just price and quality as it is. Sometimes you buy wine and you pay for it for a long-term aging potential, and 2013 could very well be that kind of wine.
And let's talk about the lots. So the cool thing is the online and the live auction on Saturday. First you tasted all morning, and then they had the actual auction. Some wines the wine that stood out to me the most was the 3 Clicks Grenache, because there's not a lot of Grenache in Napa, and it was big structured Grenache. Even you liked it, I
I did
remember.
enjoy it, yeah.
What are some of the other wines you remember from the live auction that showed
Oh
well?
my god, the Schrammsberg sparkling wine.
Oh, they had a Schrammsberg 1997, which was
1997.
yeah, 1997, late disgorged. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
You liked the Staglin, what Staglin had to offer, I think, right? In Stag's Leap
Absolutely.
Wine
Yeah.
Cellars.
Stag's Leap always. And I like the Cabernet Franc from
Jarvis.
Jarvis, yes. I like, yeah.
You liked also the Tempranillo Cabernet from who was that from? Altessa.
Yes, Atessa.
Atessa was
Sorry
awesome.
if I get your name.
So there was a lot of interesting wines. We also got a sample to take home of the Free Mark Abbey Cabernet Sauvignon 2016, which the winner of that lot is going to be very, very happy. Some excellent wines. Another cool thing is during lunchtime, we sat down and we had the big buffet spread, and there was a lot of wines out for tasting. Just for lunch before the auction. They probably boozed us up before, even though we weren't bidding. I boozed everybody up before the auction. And I thought it'd be kind of basic wines, but for lunch I had a glass of Shafer Hillside Select, Continuum, Paul Hobbs, Nathan Coombsville Vineyard, and Staglin. All right there. That was pretty darn nice, right? So I think in general, what can you say about the week and what they were actually trying to accomplish with Premiere Napa Valley?
I think Premiere Napa Valley really shows the spirit of Napa Valley, innovation, community spirit, generosity, and creativity, because all of this wine will make specially for the auction.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 60 to 240 bottles in generally. That's really, really small production for a winery to make. But it really, I think it also opens a platform and a space for people to be creative, to do something different, a special bottling, even maybe try out a different clone or variety that they have not released to the market. And I think it's just a beautiful platform for people to explore. And also people coming together, right? You know, learning from each other, getting excited. Yeah.
For me, I think it sums up what Napa's all about, right? It's almost quintessential. Napa Valley is about trying to create the best quality wine in the world with what they have, and that's what Premiere's trying to Napa Valley, trying to take that even a step forward. I enjoyed my time there. I hope we get invited back sometime. You loved it there.
And also the after party as well, really getting people together to know each other, you know, in the media, in the trade, everyone just enjoying themselves, tasting wine. It's just a special moment and a good opportunity.
Yeah, so great. It was great. If you're there, if you ever get a chance to check it out, I would highly recommend it. We're going to have a little tasting article with some of our favorite wines. I'm going to put the link in the description box. Anything else you want to add on Premiere Napa Valley?
No, I realized I was talking really fast today. Anyhow.
That's good. So guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I will see you
At the next episode.